And yes, we are live. If you're here with me and you can see me live right now, please let's see you right in the comment section. We went live now with Pastor Osiri. All right, Pastor Osiri is going to be here. He's already here. He's in the studio, and I just wanted to be ready before we bring in Pastor Osiri. Let me just tell you a bit about Pastor Osiri and how we met. That's why I usually say that Pastor Osiri is one of the gift of my online space people. All right. So, the gift that the online space gives some of us. So when people talk about the online space, I am usually particularly excited because the online space has given me people I cannot trade, with anything. And Pastor Siri and his wife are one of those people. Pastor Siri, he doesn't like answering the overseer, but I will say it. He is the overseer of the church, the Wisdom Place Church. The Wisdom Place Church. The Wisdom Place Church is a church in Port Harcourt. In fact, the first time I went to that church, I was asking him, what did you do? How did you get men? There are a lot of men in your church. What did you do? He just looked at me and said, I think everybody has said the same thing. How come there are a lot of men in your church? Pastor Siri is going to be telling us that. But one of the things that I tell Pastor Siri is, you are called to speak to men. And truly, truly, Pastor Siri is that one man that when he says who, men answer. Is the one that does the man thing, the Father and the Son, and everything men. You see, Pastor. So I told him one of those days, and I said, Pastor, you know that you are the one that will save men in this generation. So please, don't leave us. Biko, come and save men for us. So Pastor Siri has agreed to do the work of saving men. And we are here. The first person that ever told me that some things are taught and some things are caught is Pastor Osiri right in the building. And the day he told me, he just looked at me and he said, Wendy, these things you teach, many of them are caught, they are not taught. And Pastor Osiri has far moved from being that person I had met online to family. These ones are now very dear to me in these times. And it's usually a pleasure to have Pastor Siri. Pastor Siri has spoken at the TIP Fathers Conference every year. The month of May and June in TIP is Father and Boys. Pastor Siri will be in Abuja for the Boys Conference tomorrow. He will be in Abuja for the man thing on Sunday. It is man and boys. That's where we are today. So I'm going to bring Pastor Siri to the building. Pastor Siri is here. Let's make some noise if you're in the comment section. Let us share the fire emojis. Pastor Siri is here. I like to call him friend. I like to call him mentor. I like to call him pastor. Sometimes he just calls and he just prays for me. I'm like, hey, I won lottery today. Pastor. Pastor, we are here. Book ready, and we are, ready to glean from your knowledge. And Port Harcourt people are here. They're already raving right in the comment section and say, yay, Pastor. So yes, in fact, when I shared the invite, somebody said to me, this is one of the couple I respect in my life, and I just smiled. So yes, you have a lot of fans here, sir. The floor is yours.
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
going to be here listening.
Wow. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, so I can't see you, but Wendy is seeing you on my behalf. And also, we're excited for what Coach Wendy. I think Coach Wendy is now synonymous with not just parenting, intentional parenting. And if you are a man and you are listening to this, I forget. Parenting is not only for the woman. In fact, part of what I'm discovering is that when God talks parenting in the Bible, he always make reference to the man. When God was going to talk about parenting, the first thing about parenting, he spoke to Abraham, not Sarah. He said, I know Abraham is going to command his children to obey me. He was talking to Abraham. The same thing that has to do with Isaac, Jacob. When God was speaking to them about their children, he's not talking to their wives. Now, are we saying the wives are not important? No. We want you to know that as a man, you need to know that parenting, it took two people to bring that child to life. It's going to take two people to parent that child. Okay, so having said that, I want us to, go into what we have today. But at the same time, before I do that, I want us to celebrate Coach Wendy, what she's doing globally. She's bigger than Abuja now. She's bigger than Nigeria now. She has become a mighty global icon. I can't see you, but let's show her some love. Let's show her some love. Put those emojis. It's not easy to have open teeth and be anointed like this.
Pastor is at it.
From the hairstyle she has made, you know that there's something she calls herself, that she's a baby girl mama. Am I right? Or something like that, baby girl lifestyle.
Pastor, this is between me and you now. You're bringing me out.
Yeah, no, but they need to know what we are doing.
What kind of thing is this, Pastor? This is private. This is private conversation now.
All right, thank you so much. Just to let you know that we love her and all she's doing globally. Okay, so let's go. I'm supposed to be sharing on family leadership. So let me tell you a story, and then I will bring some few points I believe that are very important. So usually Tuesdays are my counseling days. So one of those Tuesdays, I've seen the first person, seen the second person, about to see the third person, and my PA brought a form to me. And when I saw the form, what I saw on the paper was my wife's name written, Favor City Wisdom. Like she wants to see. I told my PA, which one, which style is this one? Okay, I said, okay, let her in. And so she, she came in. And then when she came in, she said, good morning, Pastor Osiri Wisdom, sir. When your wife calls you sir and calls you pastor, you're already in trouble. It means you're already in trouble. And so when she did that call, it was just shocking for me. I said, what's the problem? He said, I've been trying to get you to do something for me, trying to have a conversation on something with you for the past, 2 weeks. I said, 2 weeks? He said, yes. He said, not that you outrightly say you're not going to do it, but you know how you go out, you come back, you're already tired. And so you come with a tired body. Sometimes when I'm talking, you are sleeping halfway. And I say, wow, have I backslided to this point now? And then she said, so now I realize that the wife cap is not working. So I've removed my cap as a wife. I'm wearing the cap of a church member. All right. So now I want you to talk to me as a church member, since you have more time for church member than you have for us. Whoa, that just broke me down.
Oh,
that
wow.
just broke me down.
Oh, wow.
And I said, my God, oh God, what am I doing with my life? This is not it. So I told my PA, you know what, pack my bag. And he packed my bag. On my way going, I bought some few things, the things that she loves, both yogurt and all those things like that. And don't ask me what I did with it. So, but I just came home together like that, and I off my phone and just, stayed with her, minister to the woman of God. I said, tell me all the questions you want to ask me. And then she went on to ask some few things. And finally, I realized that the question is not even big. What she's just looking for is she just want me to listen to her. And you guys say, I just wanted to ask something. There's nothing that is like a mathematical problem she wanted me to solve. That day, I realized something, that family is very important. Family leadership is how do you, as a person, now referring to the men, okay? And of course, the women also play a role in family leadership, because a woman, you're also a leader of a sort, because the responsibilities that you do also has a leadership part to it that you must understand. So in the book my wife and I wrote, is called Wisdom Driven Marriage. The Wisdom Driven Marriage. I'm actually teaching from that book, The Wisdom Driven Marriage. Now, in this book, we talked about the wisdom of leadership, family leadership. And then in this book, we mention why is family leadership important. I'm going to mention a few of them, and then I'm going to encourage you, to get a copy of it if you can, if you desire that. Now, the first thing, why is leadership important at home? Is because everything stagnates where there is no leadership. Everything stagnates where there is no leadership. In many homes, you see that there is stagnation. There's no progress. There's no advancement. All right. Everything stagnates where there is no leadership. Number two is that leadership is what makes the members of the family unleash their potential. In other words, leadership calls the best out of members of the family. So look at Coach Wendy. God, through other instruments, particularly the husband, has brought out this amazing gift to all of us globally. Leadership also provides clear direction. Leadership provides clear direction. That's why we need family leadership. Number four is that leadership also ensures stability. Leadership ensures stability. Leadership ensures stability at home. So when you have ups and downs, you have violence, you have all of these kind of things, it means that leadership is not working very well there. Okay. Also, number five is that leadership helps you as a family to direct the resources of that family. And when I say resources, I mean more than just money. The energy of the people there. Different things in that environment called family. Do you realize that how important family is? In 2019, December, we began to hear about COVID. By 2020, the world has literally shut down. The world has literally shut down, okay? And globally, they shut down banks. They shut down hospitals. Airports were shut down. Universities were shut down. Government houses were shut down. Everything, little markets were shut down. They call them football clubs, entertainment homes, hotels. They were all shut down. Only one place was open. We're all asked to go to one place, and that place is family. Family is so critical. Family is so important, and that's why family leadership is very important. So for the man, when you hear family leadership, sometimes we confuse family leadership with rulership. So a lot of men, I know that my teaching today is biased to encourage men. And of course, I'm going to also go towards the end to encourage women, but essentially men. Why am I focusing on men? Why do I focus on men? Look at this, or listen to this, please. They did a research in the US. They did a survey of families and how the families got to know Christ or gave their life to Christ. Guess what? They discovered that, and they were trying to measure the relationship between when a family member, the family member that gave his life to Christ first, and the impact on the rest of the family members. Guess what happened? So they discovered that if it is a young man, whether it is a boy or a girl, a teenager, that gave his life to Christ or her life to Christ first, that 3.5% of the time, the entire family will respond to God. If it is a woman, and please don't get me wrong, it's not me, it's a survey. If it is a woman, that it is 17% of the time, if a woman gives her life to Christ first, the entire family will follow. But they said if it is a man that gave his life to Christ first, that 93% of the time, the entire family responds to God. What does that tell you? That daddy is destiny. What does that tell you? That the character of a king determines the characteristics of his kingdom. I need to say that again. And if you are on this live section, I want to write that one down. The character of a king determines the characteristics of his kingdom. What does that mean? If the man does not like the way the house is going, he has an amazing leadership role to change it. So there is no stability in the house. The man needs to have that understanding. I can change the whole of this trajectory. The man needs to realize that. And that's how powerful it is. Do you know, and I'm sure most of us here already are aware, we are parents, that the the genetic DNA of a child does not come from the mother, it comes from the father, which means that because the word father in Hebrew means, the word father in Hebrew means pater, P-A-T-A. All right, in Greek, in Greek it means Abba, and that's why we have Abba, father. It means the source of a thing, but it doesn't only mean the source. It means two things essentially. It means the source of a thing and the sustainer of a thing. The source of a thing and the sustainer of a thing. So when you say I'm a father, you are saying I'm the source of this thing. I'm also the sustainer of this thing. So sometimes we see that we have people that you can basically call sperm donors. So they gave a woman pregnancy, they got a woman pregnant, and they didn't do much in parenting. They didn't do much in bringing out the best in the wife or the children. And essentially, he just, plays very shallow role in that situation. That is not the best of a man. So a man needs to realize, so the DNA of a man determines the height of the child, the color of the eye, the color of your hair, different things. That tells you that that's how powerful influence is. The man needs to know, I am the leader here. And as the leader goes, so the rest of us go. So one day I was trying to, make a very profound statement in my home. Now, I can tell you, understanding family leadership was one of the things that changed our home drastically. People say today, just like Coach Wendy has mentioned, that people love, respect my wife and I can tell you, the story I'm about to tell you now was one of the things. There are three things, and I can't tell you all the three. I'll just tell you one. Was one of the things that changed the trajectory of our home. We used to have, just like other people, we used to have, ups and downs of troubles. It's like, the thing about life is that trouble does not have a timetable. Trouble does not give you timetable. It will just come. And so it was going up and down like that. I said, no. There are signs of good leadership, and I'll mention to you about them just before I end. There are signs of good leadership. And I was not seeing those signs. At that time, I don't even know that there were those signs. So I had to go to the Bible and study it. I realized that what I was doing was essentially rulership, not leadership. Rulership is like an oppressive thing. It's like an iconic stuff. I don't know what the right word to use for you right now, but it's more like hero worshiping. It's more like one person doing many things, one person lazing about. And so I realized that as a ruler, I was, not leading the right way. That's not the God's best for me. And so I decided to do something differently. When I studied the Bible and understood leadership, that Jesus said, I have not come here to be served. I have come to serve. That changed me. So I'm supposed to be serving my family. But let me tell you the story that made me to begin to do some things differently. The first thing I did was that I called my wife and the three children. We had a family meeting. And I told them, now this is me, the ruler, talking. I said, I don't know what is going on here. You people eat food. You say, thank you, mommy. Nobody talks to me. Mommy is the one that is buying, shoe. And you say, thank you, mommy. Mommy is the one that took you out. Say, thank you, mommy. Mommy is a good mommy. I said, no. I want you to say thank you, mommy, and say thank you, daddy. You know how some people try to make, demand honor, demand respect, demand submission. All of these things are earned. You have to earn them. I'll tell you how. So I called my family together, and then I asked them, my wife, the money that you used to cook food, who gave it to you? She said, I did. I said, okay. How about the money you used to buy these shoes? They are thanking you, and they did not thank you. Who said? I said, okay. And I said, how about this and that? Then our little son then lifted up his eye and said, Daddy, I happened to say, I said, what is it? He said, that means mommy does not have money. I said, no. Then I realized I was trying to solve one problem, and I was creating a different problem altogether. I said, no, mommy has money. Mommy normally add her own money. All I'm saying, if you say thank you, daddy, you say thank you, mommy. Or thank you, mommy, and thank you, daddy. But then that still did not solve my problem. I realized that I was trying to get, this influence by force. And John Maxwell made a very profound statement when he says that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. In my book, I define my own. I added something small. All right, I'm a certified John Maxwell, trainer and coach. All right, so I understand him. So what did I do? What did I add? I say leadership. This is my own definition. Please write it down. Leadership is end influence created through service. And influence created through service. So I wanted to have influence on my wife and my children. But how am I going to have those influences or the things I wanted to happen? I realized it has to come through service. So Jesus was very correct when he says, I've not come to be served, I've come to serve. You have to realize that as a man, that you are here to serve. So now what did I do that changed our family? I began to do things differently. So yes, that's right. Leadership is end. The end is very powerful. End influence created through service. If you are not serving, you are not going to end influence. In fact, let me encourage you about this. Let me encourage you about this. Do you know even dogs, they respond to what I'm saying? Dogs, if you feed a dog normally will not bite the person that feeds the dog. Because dogs understand that the best way to end influence is to serve. So I began to serve my family. So now if I'm taking my clothes to dry cleaner, I send my wife's own, the ones that need to go, my children's own. The days I'm going to do washing and using our washing machine, I carry everybody on. It looks disjointed, but I can tell you, if you want to have influence on somebody, serve the person. If you want to have influence on somebody, solve a problem for the person. Once you do that, you are earning influence. And that's why, as men, I have come to understand as a man, and as men, I encourage men, you have to find a way to serve your home. So what did I do differently? I started to do things differently. Before, my wife would take children to school and bring them back to school. I said, no, that has to change. Because that's how she's getting influence. I have to share in that influence distribution channels. So I began to say, my wife, I will take them to school in the morning, you bring them back. And that began to work amazingly. The conversation we had in the morning driving through school runs was amazing. So we have math teacher that was teaching our children at that time. What I'm talking about is like 8 years or so, And I said, you know what? In addition to the math teacher, I became the resident math teacher. So when the math teacher or lesson teacher teaches them, when I have the time, not when I have the time, I have to start creating time to be able to respond to their needs. I'm talking about how to have, family leadership, even for a dummy. A dummy can understand this one I'm trying to explain. All right. So I realized that you have to know that influence is earned. You have to earn it. When a man begins to say, I'm the head of this home, I'm the head of this home, something must be wrong, because as a head, you don't say it, you just show it. Because husband is not a title, husband is a job description. There are jobs to be done. So I began to now do job for myself. I began to get myself to work. I began to do something, So one day, let me tell you a story. One day, my son brought back maths, all right, from school. And so he solved it. I went through it. I said, no, this assignment, you didn't get it right. No. This is wrong. This is wrong. Okay. We have to change this. He said, no, Daddy, this is the correct answer. And children, they believe their teachers more than their parents. I said, no problem. You know what? You solve your own. I solve my own. Take my own and your own. Go and show your teacher. And when you come back, let's know. And then when he came back from school, as he was alighting from the vehicle, he just gave me high five. I said, what happened? He said, Daddy, you know something, no? Daddy, you know something, no? Daddy, you know something, no? I said, what happened? He said, my teacher said that his teacher said that his own was wrong and that my own was correct. I said, my son, before I married your mother, I had A in mathematics. So I want to let you know, gradually I began to have influence, because what happens is that I began also to go to, children visiting day, enter house sports. When a child is sick, you have to be there. If you're not careful, that's what happens to many families, okay? And it's a leadership problem that during Christmas or during Easter, you see people, they buy things for their mother. They buy different things for their mother. When they want to give mother and father money, they give both of them money together and say, Daddy, this is 50,000. You take 30, give mommy 20, or just you are in charge here. And the man will take 30, give the woman 20. Is that the end of the story? No. The young man will go at the back and give the mother 150,000, and then come and give the father a bottle of hot drink so that the man can drink and die faster. I made up my mind. Nobody will give me hot drink to drink and die faster. I made up my life. I'm going to be in the life of these children. The reason is that I have this book called 360-Degree Parenting. In the book, I said, if you are not in the life of your children today, you will not be in their memory tomorrow. If you are not in the life of your children today, you will not be in their memory tomorrow. So I began to do that. Because how do women gain a friends? After a while, you hear some men say, my wife has cornered the heart of the children away from me. No, the woman did not corner it. It's because she was the one serving. And it did not start today. In the Bible days, you heard about the boy that said, my head, my head, my head. The father, and the boy was with the father. He said, go and hand him over to the mother. It was the mother was looking for a solution. So when a child is sick and has to sleep over in the hospital, who stays there? Father or mother? Father or mother? When it is time to go visit in school, who goes there? When the child, different kinds of things. I realized that it's not going to work like this. And so I began to serve my children, became a part of their life, and began to play to the point my wife said, it's like you are stealing the heart of these children from me. And she said, it's because I'm playing rough play with them. I say, it's not rough play. It's intentional parenting. I became intentional in being a parent. I became intentional in making sure I bring family leadership at home. I became intentional because more than what you build, who you raise is the secret of your legacy. I'm going to say that again. More than what you build, who you raise is the secret to your legacy. And you don't raise kings by accident. You raise kings intentionally. You have to raise kings intentionally. And that's where Wendy comes in. Wendy is an expert on how to raise kings because there are certain environment that produces certain things. Just before I came on this live stuff, I was talking with Isaac Onoja. He was live with me on Instagram. And if you're on Instagram, you want to go and follow at Osiri Wisdom and watch that particular session we just finished about 30 minutes ago. Now, he was saying about mental health and social energy, that if in a social energy, social setting like family, if the leader and this is where the wife comes in, if the wife or the man or the children carries negative energy, those negative energy will begin to impact negatively on other members of the family. So now the man comes back home. The wife says, good evening. Says, how was work? Fine. Nothing. So the moment you realize that, that the energy is going to change, all right? And so he was talking about social energy and how we must make sure that we stay excited, how we must make sure that we stay happy, and how our happiness impacts the people around us, because you cannot be in a social setting and be in isolation. You cannot be there and build an empire all by yourself. So this is what I'm going to do with the few minutes I have left. I want you to know this, that family leadership is service. You have to make up your mind, how am I going to serve my family? And when you begin to serve your family, even as a woman, you have to also increase the energy of the house to make it positive. I know that some people used to have mood swing. Is it men or women that have more mood swing? I'll leave it to you to decide. But you see, when people have mood swings, as you are mood swinging, you need to know that your mood swinging is impacting the whole family. You have to quickly come out of that your mood so that you not set a climate. Because if something happens to you after a while, maybe it happens to you 2-3 minutes, it's just called like something like, that was a feeling. If you don't treat that feeling after a while, if you stay for a longer time, it becomes a mood. You are almost there for a long time. If you don't stay away from that mood for a long time, it becomes an atmosphere. And that's why certain people, you enter their atmosphere, they are very unhappy, and certain things happen in certain places. You have to know that. that you are here to lead, you want to be a leader, and you want to provide leadership for your family. So for the wife, try to make sure that there is peace. Try. And these are the signs. These are the signs. And that's where all of us, both husband and wife, comes in. The 5 signs of a good family leader. The 5 signs that this family has good leadership. Number 1 is peace. Now, peace is not the absence of issues. Don't get me wrong. Peace is not the absence of issues. Peace means that you have the right attitude to handle problems and issues when they arise. The first sign of good leadership, please write it down, is peace. Number 2, the next sign of a good leader at home is positivity. That means that there is positive energy, there's positive influence. All right. Number 3 is there is progress, and not just one person progressing, everybody is progressing in that family. Number 4 is that there's prosperity for that family. And then number 5 is that there is posterity. And this is what, I think that is very important, that you think about the future of your children. So I want to encourage everyone listening to us, make sure that you're part of the intentional, parents, all right? Intentional parents. You want to make sure that you are a part of that, and then be an intentional parent. Let me tell you, beyond whatever you build, who you raise is the secret to your legacy. Thank you so much. I hope with this few points of mine, I've been able to encourage you and not to confuse you, that family leadership is possible. And before I wrap up, listen to this. Family leadership is not gender sensitive. And that's why when a man dies, a woman can lead that family. And that's why also that a woman needs to know, I also have something to add. Don't just say my mama is a leader and you gotta sit down. No. You are supposed to be helping to produce the energy to lead the entire family. Family leadership is not gender biased. You know why? Because anybody can solve problem. Anyone that can solve problem can lead. Leaders manifest to solve problem. Leaders manifest to solve problem. And I want you to know this. As a woman, you are part of those bringing solution to our world. Thank you so much, Wendy, for asking me to do this. Thank you.
Please, let's give Pastor Osiri some fire emojis. Thank you so much, Pastor. When Pastor was talking, Yadas, are you here? Are you here? And hey, shout out to Mama, Pastor Favor Osiri. I see you, Ma. I know that you're here. You're always here. You follow your husband around. We know. Let's not bring out our this thing outside. We just know.
My wife too much. My wife too like following me up and down.
Following everywhere. I will keep quiet, because if I talk now, she'll come and embarrass me too.
No, so don't talk. Let me not say
too much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Pastor. One of the key things that Pastor has said today, in fact, it's a like he said, the Intentional Parent Academy is about raising kings, and he said something very profound. You don't raise kings by error. You don't. There's a template. But Pastor, there is a template. All this, I will do whatever it is I like, is a lie. There's something that you must do. It's the Bible that said that the labor of the foolish wearied them, because they do not know how to go to the city. There's a way to the city. The city has a gate. There's a way to enter that gate. Thank you so much, Pastor Osiri. This is so apt, so short. But you know the thing, Pastor Osiri is in Abuja on Sunday.
Yay!
I want you to tell every man that you know that's in Abuja. The governor would also be on that list speaking. Some of the people so I looked at that flyer, Pastor, and I said, oh, the men that mentor me on this flyer. What a flyer. Isaac Onoja is there. Isaac Onoja is a mentor, a friend. In fact, Isaac Onoja, when Isaac Onoja is done speaking, you'll be wondering, what happened to me? You want your husband to be there. We have agreed that men want to hear men speak. And we have also agreed that we're going to create environment where men will hear fellow men. And Pastor Osiri has taken it upon himself. I don't want to say that the man thing is free. I was speaking to Pastor Osiri, I think it was today or some time ago, and he said, oh, it's a free event. People say, Pastor, no. Do you know? Let me tell you how much it is that you're paying for this event. Someone is paying for everything you call free. This live stream is being paid for by somebody, somewhere, for you to be able to access it free. So there's really no free, even salvation isn't free. You actually need to do something, really. All right. So it doesn't just fall on you. So we need to understand that we're doing it. Part of what Pastor Osiri has actually been called to do is to raise men, to change the leadership system of men. And until we change men, nothing really changes. So if you're in Abuja, you have somebody in Abuja, let them come for the man thing. There's going to be the man thing Port Harcourt. There's going to be the man thing Lagos. We are going to see how we will push the narrative round. I am a strong, part of the man thing at the back. You are not going to see me at the event. But whether we want the men to stand up, we are the ones. When we started TIP Fathers Conference, Pastor Siri speaks at that conference every year. He knows. When he was preparing for a particular event, he said, let me not do anything in June so that when you don't have my, I say, Pastor, I hope you know. So it's something that is at our heart to actually get men to start to do this thing. And we understand that it's not one person that can do it. We're bringing in resources, we're helping, we're putting in everything that is, that will make this work. We're going to send the link to the man. We've sent it before. We're going to send it again so that you can send to friends and family to register for the man thing on Sunday. But before then, you can ask your questions. All right. You can ask your questions in the comment section and give us all of the conversations. By the way, I don't think you've heard Pastor Osiri. I don't think you've heard Pastor Favor. When you listen to Pastor Favor, Spitfire, when you are done listening to her, don't worry, she's coming to TIP conference this year. When you are done listening to her, you go and ask yourself whether you are parenting or you are joking. You think
my wife is announcing altogether.
All right. So really, we're so glad that you joined us today. And Pastor, please touch a little on posterity. There's a question here, Pastor.
On what?
Posterity.
Okay, so posterity is another way I used to, if you observe, they're all P, all of that's one of the signature of Pastor Wisdom. I always have time to think through what I'm doing, to put it in a way I can remember. So you can say the 5 P's of family leadership, or 5 products of family leadership, or science. Posterity is essentially about parenting. It's about the future of that family. There are some families you hear, like, for instance, when you hear the Rockefeller family, when you hear the Ologes family, when you hear the Osiris family, it means that when you're a great leader, when you understand family leadership, you bequeath to your children a name that money cannot buy.
Yes.
It means you give them something. Let me tell you a story. So my father, he died about 5 years ago. In my hometown, when people reach age 70, they used to call a ceremony, they call Uche ceremony, more like retirement ceremony. And then they buy things for people. Some people don't trust their homes to keep that thing safe. They carry it to give my dad. If you give my father 10,000 naira, 1 million, he will not just return back your 1 million at the time you ask him to return. He will return exact note. If you gave it cash, he will not even touch it. That's how powerful the man was. And so when he died, we have stack of bags and big boxes full of lace and jewelries. We called the people and told them, please, the man has gone. Come and carry your things. They said, no, if you people answer the name of Siri, then you have to have integrity like your father. We are not carrying the stuff. Whoa, that was massive. For me, that was massive. A few weeks ago, somebody called me and said that, a student I had imparted while I was at the university where I served as the deputy registrar and supervising chaplain, and somebody went to immigration. At the immigration, you know how they bring forms, and the person, they were on the queue, and then he just saw a name that had one lady's name, but with Osiri. The lady, not knowing which Osiri is concerned, he just left. He said, please, you should permit me, or I'm going to do something here. And walk right towards the end and say, who is best? The person lifted up her hand. He said, follow me. And took the person to the office and said, do you know one Pastor Osiri Wisdom? He was my chaplain. He was the one that mentored me in leadership. Do you know him? The guy said, I don't know him. He said, but you are bearing the same name. He said, I may have come from the same place, but I don't know him. Guess what happened? The man said, whether you know him or you don't know him, because you are bearing this name, I'm going to favor you. That's posterity. In other words, what is the legacy you are handing over to your children? When there is good leadership, you always think about time beyond yourself. And that's why we have the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's posterity. That's why you have David. When Solomon was going to build the temple, he gave him the entire resources to build posterity. So it's about parenting and how you are preparing that to immortalize your name, because the best place to write the history of your life is not on paper, it's not on the walls, it's on the tables of the hearts of men.
Yes. You know, Pastor, today, before we started this session, I was watching a documentary, a Chinese documentary. I watch a lot of that, and I like documentaries a lot. And there are a lot of learnings. And the Chinese are one of the people that I'm studying in the recent times, how they are parenting, how they are, transferring posterity and all of that. And I saw how they were running their businesses. I saw how their businesses had run. So there was a particular man, what he does is fireworks. And I saw how people, he's done the whole fireworks industry and his children. So when you're born, as little as 2-year-olds, you're running in the industry and you see how fireworks are made. So as you're growing, that's what you know, and that's what you begin to do. So you are into the fireworks industry. You are not thinking of any other thing. There's a kind of inoculation that happens in the family, and that's one of the things that we lack in Africa. We raise children, and then it just growing. The child doesn't even know who the God of their father is. It's interesting. And a lot of Christians, when I read the Bible, I see the things that, the Bible writes. You see where the Bible says, the God of my father told me, my father, my father, the God of my father told my father. How did they know that the God of their father told their father? Their father, they were very intentional in passing on what God told them about their families. So, posterity cuts across like every area. A good name, whatever it is that you're doing, what the family is going to stand for, and all of that. So I think the good name is a very key place to start. The Bible says that a good name is better than whatever it is that you're going to put. But Pastor, you have a question here that is a little bit interesting. Timmy says, what if your husband is already serving the family, but is not really leading in terms of vision or pushing for growth and transformation of every other member of the family?
Wow. This is so, I don't even know how I'm going to say that. Okay, so I did an Instagram video. It was 3 sections, 1, 2, 3. If you follow Out of City Wisdom on Instagram, you're going to check for it, where I talked about 15 things men need to know about marriage. This is one of the things I address, because the man needs to know that the marriage is not just about the man. So the man does not just color the whole, everything's about him. The food to cook is about him. Where we go on vacation is about him. But it's about, how do I bring out the best in the people I'm leading? A good example of that is Joshua, where God told Joshua, you're going to get this land, but this land you get, you will divide it among the people. It's not even about Joshua, it's about Joshua getting the land. So there is no leadership without vision, because without vision, leadership is unnecessary. I'm going to say that again. Without vision, leadership is unnecessary. Why? Because leadership takes people from point A to point B. Point B is the vision where we are going to. And it's unfortunate. And my dear sister, I've seen this kind of question many times. And a lot of people, a lot of men don't realize how much our action impacts our wife and our family. It's like following a parked vehicle. Have you followed a parked vehicle before? This woman asking this question, it can bring some level of frustration that, it's like a woman loaded to help and the man is not going anywhere. You have to be begging him to stand up from bed. You have to beg him to go and, it's just like everything is just, you are driving. It's like following a parked vehicle. And when you have energy, your car, there is fuel. You are driving this Tundra and you are trying to drive, and then one small Volkswagen is in front of you. fact,
Mm.
it leads to frustration. And that's why a lot of women are also frustrated, because their husband seems not to be going anywhere. And the Bible says, for this cause shall a man leave his house. There is a cause, there is a purpose.
There's something.
There is something. Marriage is a ministry and a mission. There is a cause, there's a mission. All right. You could see that Wendy and Kunle, they're on a mission. There is something they're doing. My wife and I, we're on a mission. There is a mission. And that's what the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people will perish. Because vision is a type of a social glue. Vision is a type of a social glue. When you and somebody are working on something, it's difficult to separate you, because people are always talking about it. It's like if you are, trying to plan your wedding, you're always calling for, okay, how about this one? How about cake? How about it? What happens is that many people, the only vision they have for their relationship is wedding. It started with wedding and ended at wedding. After they wedded, no more vision. No vision of going for a higher institution. No vision for going for masters. No vision for attending the intentional parenting. There's no vision to raise a king. No vision. So, my dear sister, what will I ask you to do, having painted the bad state of that kind of situation? Number one, make sure that you invite your husband to the Man Thing Summit tomorrow. Either he joins physically if you are in Abuja, or let him join online on the Man Thing on the Man Thing NG on YouTube and Facebook. Man Thing NG on YouTube and Facebook. You want to join there. But to get the details, follow Osiri Wisdom on Instagram and Facebook. You also get the details there. So he needs to come there, because we're going to be talking about how men need to carry vision. When you see a man that has somewhere he's going, women like to follow that person. You see my wife followed me because of where I was going to. I was on campus there. I was NIFES president, and she was a member of the fellowship. She used to stay in front. I thought that she was hearing the word of God. I didn't know she was eyeing the man of God. And she was eyeing the man of God in a very powerful way. And later, she now said that part of why she was eyeing the man of God is
I think I have a better version of this story, Pastor. My version.
No. Just calm down. Just calm down.
My version of this story.
Don't worry. The full story is in a book called Love Chronicles. You see the full story. Written by both of us. All right. So that's the full story. But I want you to know this, that even though I was wearing color rioting, I was so slim, but she could know that this young man is going somewhere. So, my dear sister, one, let him attend the Man Thing Summit. Number two, let him look for men who are already going somewhere, because energy feeds on energy. Number three, get books on leadership that can help him understand what leadership is. Copy the link of this video and send to him. Fine, if you need to kiss him, kiss him. Anything you have to do to make sure that both of you watch this together, so that I can begin to hear what we're talking about. There's also a book I wrote called Odogu. Odogu is about how do men, Odogu the Man Thing, that's the book, Odogu the Man Thing. How do men understand leadership? How do they lead, live, and leave a legacy? All right. And another material can do, of course, let him make friends. And for you now, you that is here, maybe if he's not here, you that is here, what do? Go and begin to apply this leadership and begin to just serve. And after a while, I'm sure you can catch up with him because of that social energy you are distributing in terms of leading. But I also am aware that if your husband has a traditional mind, he's not likely to be open to learn from you. So you need to learn from somebody else. All right? He needs to learn from somebody else. And that's where you can go through Wendy and meet me. This is a very big question, and we can help you further.
Thank you so much, Pastor Osiri. Pastor Osiri, wisdom. Pastor Osiri, I don't want to say other things. Let me just keep quiet. Mama is here. Mama is here in the comment section watching us. She said, "Chai, can you see? See what you've done, Pastor."
She's still loving me. She's still loving me. She can't help herself.
She's here. She can see you when you're done. You go answer, Pastor. I'm not there. All right. So, man going somewhere, energy feeds on energy. And thank you so much, Pastor Wisdom Osiri, for always being there. We had to bring Pastor Wisdom Osiri to come and talk about the man thing, because I want you to see the relevance of your husband being at the man thing. It's not my
Yeah.
event, but I know what it is. I know that parenting, when parents are on the same page, trust me, parenting is different. You see all there are a lot of things that come to me, and I look at it. I've never actually experienced it, because I have a man that we're on the same page on the journey, and it can be really easier. So anything we can do to get the man. The other time in the Inner Circle program, we brought the governor to come and teach about marketing and marriage, and it was an amazing session. He came out with a lot of testimonies, where people have been, where he was teaching how you can bring your spouse to come and parent with you. Because we are living in a place, some of us have already married the kind of people we married. You are not going to throw them away. So what you can do is to look for avenues to help them. All right. And part of those avenues is us now saying, I'm sure some of your husbands will listen to me and say, that girl, that woman, what's she even saying? At least I will bring you people men, so that at least when they hear the men too, they will calm down and continue to listen. So the idea is just for them to actually learn. And if you can actually stay committed to it, your husband will begin to. Pastor Suri shared his story at the beginning of this conversation. He said when he used to parent, like, oh, he just rule, oh, this person and all of that. And he saw the whole, gaps that he created. At least this story, I'm sure a man who hears this story will be able to connect. If you watch The Godfather, there was a scene in The Godfather where he was talking to one of his boys, and he said, "Do you spend time with your family?" And then he said, yes, he said, men who spend time with the family are real men. They are the real men, So, I saw that clip again today because it was the Godfather's birthday, post birthday. And, I saw that clip. I was like, wow, that's true. I remember this scene. So many of the times, Pastor, is because many of these men don't know. They don't really know. They've not come to the understanding. Just like you came to the understanding that what you were doing was rulership. They have not been able to come to the understanding that what they're actually offering their family's rulership. So we want to open their eyes. Knowledge opens your eyes. The Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So the more knowledgeable we become, the more we are going to make this easier. All right.
True.
So and then Pastor Siri has a mandate. Pastor Siri has a mandate of forcing them to make sure that they are parenting in the academy. So by the time you send them to him, you leave the job. Pastor Siri will do the rest. So, but let's get them to listen. There are how many men that I know, that will be at that session. Men, I mean the Odogu man. We have Pastor Siri. We have Pastor Andy Osakwe. Oh my goodness, Pastor Andy Osakwe is going to be at that event. I wish I can sneak into this event. I'm going to call Pastor. Whether maybe I will stay at the balcony. They will not see me. Pastor, stop shaking your head. Calm down. I will stay. If Mama is coming, I will be there. I will stay. We'll stay at the backstage. We'll be giving you support. They will not see us. Nobody will see us. Shh, don't tell your husband. Then we have Pastor Godwin. Pastor Godwin is an amazing. He has also been through his own, rulership leadership process. He has shared a lot about that. And I'm sure he's going to share a lot about, his marriage and how he got there. We have Isaac Onoja, the amazing Isaac Onoja. We have Uche Carlo, that's Architect Uche, and all the way from Port Harcourt. We're having Ikara. That's Pastor Piara's husband. Yeah, I'm right. Pastor P is Where Women Pray, the convener of Where Women Pray. Her husband is going to be at this event. These are powerful men. We have Dr. Chinedu Zephaniah. Dr. Chinedu Zephaniah is personally used to be my district leader in church. In fact, he's my neighbor. So, I see him. I know him. I know what he can do. We have Emmanuel. We have Obina. We have Elisha. We have Namdibe. Namdibe, I grew up with him, funny enough, and he's grown into an amazing fine man doing amazing work. Yes, we grew up in the same city. All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we have Ocholi Okuteba. I listened to Ocholi once, and I was taken off from my seat the first time I listened to him. I was with Mama the day we were listening to you. I was with Pastor Favor. We were sitting down. The guy had some kind of different kind of anointing. All of these men, and then the governor is on this list as well. All of these men are amazing men that have been able to actually go to, go through a whole lot and also able to share their story. Somebody said, my pastor is already loving Pastor Osiri. My husband is already, that's what we're talking about. As he loves him, Pastor Osiri will now come from the corner. Pastor Osiri is my main gang man. So you don't have a problem. Is there anything that Pastor Osiri preached here that you have not heard in TIP? Where we operate at the same level, the same spirit. When the spirit fails me, I'll go and tap anointing from Pastor. So if you're looking for where anointing is coming from, this is one of the people I'm tapping anointing from. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Pastor, please share your last words with every parent that is watching, and then we close so that we can go and sleep.
All right, so 2 things I want to say. Thank you, Wendy, for this platform. I want to say, if you're on this platform, don't take what is going on here lightly. Your knowledge, the knowledge you are getting from the intentional parents platform is like deliverance without laying on of hands. That's what happens when you hear Wendy and all the team members. All right. Also, I want to encourage you, like Wendy have said, ensure that your husband is part of the Man Thing Summit tomorrow, and on Sunday evening. All right. And then the link, you can get it at Osiri Wisdom. Osiri Wisdom is spelled OSIRI, then Wisdom on Instagram. And you go through, you can see all the details you need. Also on Facebook. And then you want to, listen to that. What else would I tell people? Okay, so I did 100 days of wisdom. Wendy was part of that 100 days of wisdom. Just 100 days talking about family reset. All right, so if you check on YouTube and of course Instagram, you can also watch that. They are all free content that can help you. And my parting word is that the purpose of knowledge is not storage but usage.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of knowledge is not storage but usage. If you know something, you are not using it, you are not better than the person that does not know. So please go and apply the things that we have learned. Thank you so much, Wendy. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Pastor Wisdom Osiri. Let me add the fine boy pastor. Mama, you're there. Yes. All right, thank you so much. Pastor likes this part. And then he will say,
I like it.
Yes,
I like it. I like that
me. Thank you so much, Pastor. You know that I don't take this for granted. You know that I'm honored. You know that this is me. If as soon as you arrive at Abuja tomorrow, I'm going to be on the floor carrying your bag as usual. So we breed honor, and then we are at TIP. We just want to honor you, sir. We're so grateful. We're so excited that for every time they will call you don't hesitate. Pastor has been busy through the day. And when I said 9 o'clock, he was, went back and forth a bit. And hey, it's just this morning we started talking about this session.
That's right.
Here is Pastor today, and it's something that I don't take for granted. Do you know the ability to lift kings? You don't get it. As in, I'm looking around. I'm feeling myself like you lift kings from their throne. What are you talking about? You guys, please send me the fire emojis because it's not easy. It's not easy. This is Daddy Gio of the Wisdom Place, Port Harcourt, please.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much, Pastor. And thank you so much, Pastor Favor. I see you right in the comment section. Always there. We are the followers of our husband. We follow everywhere. We don't have a choice. God is somewhere watching, and I'm sure he's he's having a very good laugh where he is right now. Thank you so much. We do not take this for granted. And thank you, Yadas. Thank you, every parent that came out today to come and listen to this word of knowledge. We can share everything we know how to share, and yet there's nobody to listen. It's such an honor. So we're going to close now. And we'll see you. For those of you in Abuja, we'll see you at the boys' conference tomorrow. Pastor Osiri is going to be there.
I'll be there.
Pastor Osiri is going to be there and being hosted by Ebuka. Ebuka is a Yada. Ebuka is sleeping somewhere, running around somewhere for that event tomorrow. We're going to meet there. And at the Man Thing Summit, we're going to let the men do their thing. We're going to let them talk about being a man. Being a man is a different ball game. All right. So thank you everybody. Somebody said always a pleasure to listen, to Pastor Osiri. Thank you so much. Thank you. And Pastor Osiri, you came to the cathedral today. Parents in the inner circle, please, can we show Pastor that he's in the cathedral? Please, show Pastor that he's right in the cathedral. Share the fire emojis. If you can share 20 per time, please share. Let me put it on the screen. Let's show Pastor that he arrived the cathedral today. Cathedral is where we breathe fire. You are in the cathedral. You are in the cathedral. See. That's what we're talking about. You are right in the cathedral, sir. So you're welcome.
It's something.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Pastor, we're going to let you go now. We're so grateful. Please follow Pastor Osiri Wisdom on Instagram, and you find all the details that you need about him. And if you're in Port Harcourt, attend this church. When you attend this church, it's like, one night, amazing. Trust me. All right. But Pastor Wisdom, I'm looking forward to being in Port Harcourt this year and, doing what we do at the Wisdom Place on a yearly basis. It's always very, heartwarming. Thank you so much. He says it's a great privilege to listen to a man of wisdom. Woo! Thank you so much, ma'am. And that was Kiki Loma. Oh, that's Big Mommy. Oh wow, yay! Am I not blessed? Thank you so much for being here, ma. Thank you. I see you. All right. Thank you, everybody. See you again at the next session anytime that we'll call. All right. Thank you, Pastor. And thank you, everybody. Yes, sir.